Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Dayspring Discussions, the show where we talk about comic books, sci-fi, fantasy, television, and movies. I am your host, Sean McGahee, and with me today is Mr. Josh Odell Anger to talk a little geek. Josh, what's up?
Not much, man. It's been a good day already. I'm looking forward to today's session.
You went back to school, man.
Back to school as well.
School.
I'm multitasking here at the moment.
I'd say you're in between classes right now, so we are very happy for you to take time out of your busy schedule and your continuing education to come chat with us.
Honestly, this kind of takes priority over school, to be honest with you.
Don't tell Amber that, man. Don't tell Amber that. What if your dad's listening, huh? You're gonna get a phone call.
I'm just trying to rile up the people, man. That's all I'm trying to do.
Okay, I got you. Well, we got a lot to talk about too, man. A lot of good stuff happening, especially this week. This is when all the shows come back, actually. So the CW just put out a little picture. I don't know if you saw. I posted it on the Facebook group page.
Yes, I did.
About how CW has this whole campaign this week for their DC shows. Got The Flash coming today, and then after The Flash, they're doing a special about the DC Cinematic Universe, talking about Batman v Superman, talking about Suicide Squad, which new Suicide Squad trailer is going to be released with that. So new trailer coming tonight.
Fun fact.
Of course. And then they're going to talk about, of course, Wonder Woman that started production a little while ago. And then they're going to talk about the new CW DC show, Legend of Tomorrow. Tomorrow we get Arrow coming back. And then Thursday we actually get DC's Legend of Tomorrow, the first episode, which is the third show in the DC TV universe that started with Arrow several years ago, which I'm really excited about because the show has a lot of characters from Flash and Arrow that I really like White Canary, the Atom, Captain Cold. So they're going to be on this show, and I think it's going to be really cool, honestly. It's going to be very different from Flash and Arrow. Just like Flash is different from Arrow, this will be different from the other two as well. So despite how I feel about DC's cinematic universe, I really like what they're doing with their TV universe.
Agreed.
So that'll be really cool. And then also we have other shows coming back. Agent Carter, one that I like, is coming back. A couple other shows I want to check out is Lucifer. That's pretty cool. Have you seen the trailer for that?
No, I haven't, to be honest with you.
Check it out, man. It looks pretty cool. It's about Lucifer coming to LA and he's got powers and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. And another one is, of course, The X-Files. Which,
yes.
Growing up, I wasn't a big X-Files fan. I've seen both the movies. I've seen several episodes. I know what it's all about, but kind of like Star Trek, I've got a better appreciation for it now that I'm older. So I'm excited to check that out. Definitely.
Seeing that on the TV again is a little nostalgic, and it's almost tripping me out a little bit, man. I feel like I'm a kid again, seeing these commercials for the X-Files, the next episode.
Did you see Jimmy Kimmel did a special with them? So Gillian Anderson and David Duchovny went on Jimmy Kimmel, and they're doing a parody where they're in the new X-Files, and Jimmy Kimmel shows up, and he's like, okay, let's hop on the computer, and he's like, okay, let's use the internet, and like Mulder and Scully are using dial-up or whatever, and then they go and they try to load something. They've got a floppy disk, and Jimmy's like, guys, it's the new century, okay? Not 1990 anymore. It's pretty hilarious.
Floppy disk.
Check it out. It's pretty cool. So, but yeah, new show's coming back, so it's something to do. Be really awesome. Check it out. But let's get into the regular stories, guys. So, of course, if you're first listening to us, we're going to run down some stories that happened in the comic book, sci-fi, and fantasy world last week. We're going to discuss them, and of course, you can always chime in on social media or hit us up at dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. So starting off, since we mentioned DC, I'm going to jump right in with a couple of DC movie news that we have going on. So director Zack Snyder, who is directing the upcoming Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, went on and talked about the latest trailer, which some people kind of have issues with, given that it's portrayal of Lex Luthor and its reveal of the character Doomsday. Well, Mr. Snyder talked to the Daily Beast about Doomsday's reveal, saying, Doomsday's reveal and putting it in the trailer in a controlled way that I felt was consistent with the escalation of the campaign. And then he went to talk about more about the DC Cinematic Universe and how bringing Doomsday in makes more sense. And quote, Doomsday just doesn't crawl out of the ground. He has his own mythology, right? So that has to be explored. To us, it really made sense to give Doomsday to the audience now. I really wanted to make the audience a promise that Though I'm super excited and happy and fulfilled by the conflict of Batman and Superman, there's also a bigger world to start to think about. So, Mr. Snyder, of course, goes on. In the trailer, we saw how Doomsday really looks like he's going to be created by Lex Luthor based off the corpse of General Zod. Not super excited about it, but I guess from his comments, there are two ways you can take it. One is, he's right. Movies like this now, very hard to keep things tight-lipped. So getting in front of Doomsday before anyone had a chance to leak it online makes sense.
Agreed, yeah.
I like that. Also with Doomsday, my complaint was they bringing him in too soon.
Exactly.
And he's a big character. I mean, in the comics, he took down the entire Justice League before he allegedly killed Superman. So bring him in this film, I think takes the focus off Batman v Superman, but also he's too big of a character to bring in too early in this universe. However, that is until I realized something. Some of our coworkers were asking me the other day, what's up with this Batman v Superman movie coming on? They're like, why is Batman fighting Superman? And again, that goes into why they might have shown Doomsday in this one, because a lot of people are confused. Why is Batman fighting Superman? So they got to show him this other villain that, hey, these guys, yeah, they'll fight, but they'll make up. Which, as for me, since I've been, on this movie since its initial announcement, I don't like, but for the general audience, I see the point of it.
Yeah, you see the point of making money.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like you said,
entertaining film.
Our coworkers were like, well, why are they fighting each other? What's going on? And you gotta think of the broader sense, not just the geeks like us or the fanboys. You gotta think of the people who don't know this movie is coming as soon as it is. You gotta, get them to realize what the film's about and get them in the seats.
And in my opinion, I feel like a Batman versus Superman movie was going to be enough. I could explain that with ease to any new viewers, to any newcomers to that DC world. I can explain the conflict. Superman is the alien. Batman is brought in. He's the government gun to bring in to settle him down.
Yeah.
But you throw in Doomsday, and I just start feeling like they're just throwing all this mix in there and hopefully coming out with some type of dish, hopefully coming out with something good.
Yeah, when I saw Man of Steel, I feel like they didn't have a long-term plan. I mean, they're playing all these movies like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Justice League, so they had to have some kind of plan, but with Man of Steel, I didn't feel like they had it. Now I feel like they might have a better idea of where the universe is going to go. I hope they do at least, but like I said, throwing this major of a character in so early on just doesn't seem right to me.
I'm not a big fan of. I think I'm a big fan of Doomsday. Let me write that straight. I'm a huge fan of the villain Doomsday. I think he deserves his own film. I think you don't throw him into a Batman versus Superman film as the first villain that they face.
But and one other thing I could say to that too is, what if they're not planning him just for this film? Like the next movie we're going to see Batman and Superman in is going to be Justice League, so I can see him being a big villain in the Justice League, because if they could do you got Superman, you got Batman, you got Wonder Woman in this film, they face off against Doomsday and they lose. Well, we got to bring in more people. Let's bring in Aquaman, let's bring in Flash, let's bring in Green Lantern. I could see that being a rationale behind it, I guess, in that sense. But I haven't seen the film yet. I don't know where it's going to go. If that's the way it goes, it'll be fine. If it's just bringing him in and they defeat him in that movie, I'm not happy with that.
Question: is Zack Snyder set to direct the Justice
League? Yes,
he is. Okay,
I think both of them too.
Okay, so I just feel like Zack is kind of rushing things a little bit here. I get it. I with Doomsday coming in, I'm almost hoping. This is my opinion, that we don't see much of the Doomsday fight. Like, that we get to introduce to Doomsday. Yes, he's big, bad, scary, but we don't get the whole
He's
fight.
at the very end, and right before they're about to throw punches, boom, end of movie.
Yeah. I mean, and I would be okay with that. I think, I think a Batman versus Superman movie is plenty for me.
Because I think that's good, because we get Suicide Squad, which has nothing to do with Batman, Superman, stuff like that. And then we get Wonder Woman, which Wonder Woman is now, we know, going to be more of a flashback film in World War One. So we can do so the next film we'll probably see present day is going to be Justice League, which we could do a continuation of the Doomsday fight.
And I'd love that.
I would totally do that. If they don't do that, of course, you'll hear me rant and rave about how stupid they are and how they're ruining the cinematic universe. But until now, let's give them the benefit of the doubt.
All right.
We'll go for it. We'll go on faith. All right? Minute of faith. All right, so sticking with the DC Cinematic Universe, Warner Brothers has kind of let it drop, or rumors have come out in regards to their Aquaman film that is set to come out in 2018, starring Jason Momoa. So it says that actress Amber Heard is in negotiations to join the film as Mera, the film's female lead, according to The Hollywood Reporter. So Mera in the comic books is the superpowered queen of Atlantis and Aquaman's longtime love interest. I knew I'd get that out correctly. Mera has the ability to control water and create solid constructs with it. Heard is recently seen in The Danish Girl, and she was also in last year's Magic Mike XXL. She's also starred in films as 3 Days to Kill, Pineapple Express, and The Rum Diary. So she's up for the role of Mera. Being a kind of big Aquaman fan, I have a special interest in this film. With Jason Momoa, I wasn't totally sold because I haven't seen enough as an actor to tell if he's going to be any good. And I kind of feel the same way about Amber Heard as well. The several movies that they've mentioned, I think I've seen one of them. I saw Pineapple Express, but I haven't seen any of the other movies.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of her. She's hot, don't get me wrong. She's going to be the right image for the film, I guess. I'm curious to see how their chemistry is going to work out.
Well, okay, so let's look at it this way, too. You've read Mera, her character and stuff like that.
Yes.
I mean, do you feel like, again, we don't know the actress very well because neither of us are very familiar with her, but just based on what you know, do you feel like it's something she's up for, especially playing up against Jason Momoa?
Well, I mean, it's a strong character, I think. And
it's a very strong. Now, I said, too, that she's actually going to appear, because the Justice League movie is coming first before Aquaman, so she's actually going to appear in Justice League before that, too.
I mean, I just can't help but picture her as the damsel in distress. And not a queen, and not somebody who holds a lot of and if anything, and she's a little intimidating.
She's kind of a presence. She's gonna have like that Wonder Woman presence.
Yeah,
is what it
she's
is.
a little intimidating in some parts.
I mean, I could see her going toe to toe with Wonder Woman.
Yeah. And I don't know if this actress is going to be able to pull that off. It's going to be the first of, I think one of the first strong performances she'll have to do. And most films I've seen her in, like Pineapple Express, The Rum Diary, she's very much the damsel in distress type personality.
I know in 3 Days to Kill she plays a stronger character, and I guess I heard she's pretty good in The Danish Girl as well.
Okay.
So maybe,
I haven't seen that.
Give her the benefit of the doubt as far as that matters. But yeah, right now I'm not happy about it. Hey, I'm still of the mindset that we should have an Aquaman movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. I knew that
and
was
then
coming.
we'll have, what's her name, who played Nebula in Guardians of the Galaxy. She was in Doctor Who, the redheaded girl.
Yeah.
I would love to see her play Mera, but whatever. We'll again, we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt, okay? Today we're playing faith with the DC Cinematic Universe.
Faith is the theme,
Faith
man.
is the theme, okay? So our last bit of news as regard to Warner Brothers DC Cinematic Universe is the casting of Connie Nielsen as Wonder Woman's mother, I can never say her name right. Hippolyta. I know that's totally wrong. I'm sorry. But anyway, the character is Wonder Woman's mother, and this is being reported by The Hollywood Reporter. She's best known for her role in Gladiator, and also she's been in other films like The Devil's Advocate and Missions to Mars. Wonder Woman also stars Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, Robin Wright, Danny Hudson, and is filming right now in the UK and Italy, and is set to be released on June 23rd, 2017, directed by Patty Jenkins. So the Wonder Woman movie, of course, questionable for me always because of the casting of Gal Gadot. Chris Pine added to it, was good. Now, when there were rumors about Nicole Kidman being cast in the movie, I thought she was going to play Wonder Woman's mother. That'd be a good casting there. And then they casted Robin Wright. I'm like, okay, well, she's probably going to play Wonder Woman's mother now, too. And I'm like, wait, they got another actress for that? I thought that would be Robin Wright's role. I guess not. Not that I'm complaining, because Connie Nielsen just from Gladiator alone, that film,
Yeah.
I think she's going to kill it.
Oh,
I think she's going to be really good. Now I'm very curious what Robin Wright's going to play. I think I can see Robin Wright being like a villain now too.
Yeah, like the evil stepmother.
I mean, this film now I feel is all going to be about female empowerment because I feel like we have a female director, a female hero, and I think we're going to get a female villain, which is fine. That's great because a lot of people complain about females and superheroes and lack thereof and whatnot. So that could be cool to see a whole female-led film. Like I said, to me, it comes down to Gal Gadot. I don't think she can pull it off. I'm gonna go on faith, especially until I see her in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. She's got a great supporting cast. She's got Chris Pine, Robin Wright, this one now, Connie Nielsen. Great supporting cast. It's gonna be on her shoulders though. Still.
I'm so in love with the character Wonder Woman. I really, really hope she does pull it off. I do like her character and her acting in Fast and Furious in that franchise.
What acting?
She did a good job. She was
in a bikini and looked like hot, and she wouldn't even look that hot because she's skinny.
She was manipulative.
She's got no curves.
Yeah. Besides that, but no, I really am excited for this film. I'm hoping it surprises the hell out of me. You know, faith aside. I say, ladies, get ready to buy your tickets. I mean, they're. I think it's going to be, like you said, a very strong, womanly power film. As far as the casting of her mother, I love it. Yeah.
I think that's going to be awesome. I'm just, like I said, we're going to get a better sense of how the rest of the DC cinematic universe is going to go once we see Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. And again, I have very many doubts about that film, but I'm still crossing my fingers that it's good. Because if that film is good, that's only going to elevate the genre even more. Not only DC and Warner Brother films, but also Marvel films. You know, what's the phrase? Raising tide? I don't know. There's something about raising tides and raises all boats, or you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know the phrase. I don't know about exactly.
I don't know exactly. If somebody knows it, send it to us on our Facebook page or
educate
us a little because I'm really bad at that stuff. So. All right, so let's switch over a little bit. We're going to go to Marvel, actually. Technically Marvel, 20th Century Fox, talking about the Gambit movie. Now, little has been made as far as progress on the upcoming Gambit film. However, an ABC affiliate, WGNO, in New Orleans, has brought word that they are looking to start production on the Gambit film coming in March. Channing Tatum is set to have the title role of the film, and actress Léa Seydoux, who was in the recent James Bond film, is set to be the female lead as Belladonna, who is the daughter of the leader of the New Orleans Assassins Guild and Gambit's first love. The film is set to be directed by Edge of Tomorrow and Mr. and Mr. Smith director Doug Liman.
Cool.
And it's going to be based on a treatment by Chris Claremont, who is a very famous X-Men writer and actually the guy who created the character of Gambit 2.
Wow.
This is going to be one of several spin-off films that are already planned. The first one going to be Deadpool, coming out next month. And then, of course, we get X-Men Apocalypse coming out May 27th. Now, the Gambit film is actually set to come out, as of right now, still at the end of this year.
Oh, wow.
And they haven't started production yet. Do you think they're going to make that deadline?
Nope.
I don't think they are either. I really don't. Not if they're going to actually pull off a good film. I think it's going to get pushed back to next year, which is fine because I can see them coming out, as opposed to getting 3 X-Men Fox films, let's just have 2 this year and give me 2 next year, and I'll be happy with that.
And in my opinion, you don't want to steal anything, a thunder away from Apocalypse, man. That film, I feel like, is going to be epic.
Yes, indeed.
Deadpool's already getting good vibes.
Oh,
what
man,
more do you need?
So good vibes. Did you see that there was a petition out for Deadpool? They want to make a PG-13 rating.
I saw that.
I'm like, oh, really? I get it. Yes, it's superhero. Kids want to see superhero, but I'm sorry. Not every film with a superhero is meant for kids. It's not like every comic. Some of those comics I got you to read, man. Do you really want kids reading those comics?
No, man. I mean, and that's part of the reason why I love the flavor of that dark world, adding a little darkness to that,
Yeah, exactly. It's not
subject.
Like, I'm not going to get some kid to say like, yo, you like superheroes? Here, watch Watchmen. No,
exactly.
You can't do it all. I mean, there are certain movies that are made for kids. I get that. Just like there are certain comics. There's even like kiddie comics out there that have like the Justice League or the Avengers and stuff like that are made more for them. Most mainstream comics that are made nowadays, they're more for like teenagers and up, really. And then there are special kiddie comics as well. which that's just how it is. So not every movie can be made like that. I think, of course, Gambit will be PG-13.
Yeah.
Definitely. Deadpool is going to be the exception to the rule, given the character and how Gambit fits into the X-Men universe. Can solely see it PG-13. I think I want them to take their time with it, too, because Gambit, when I was younger, was one of my favorite characters. And I still like him. I think he's a very complex, very deep character.
Very cool
and if
character.
they do it right, I can definitely see it good. Again, it's all sitting on Channing Tatum's shoulders, who in recent years have definitely improved as an actor. But starting off, I really didn't like him at all. I thought he was the worst actor when he first came onto the screen. Recent films like Foxcatcher and stuff has kind of proven he's getting better in his craft, but this is going to be a challenge for him, especially that accent. It's all about the accent, I think. If he pulls that off, we're great. If not, oh well. But Doug Liman, I'm a big fan of his. He's done some really good movies, so with him behind the helm, makes me feel a little more at ease.
Yeah, it gives me confidence into the film. I'm really anxious to see this Hail Caesar movie that Channing Tatum's in.
Oh yeah.
To see, this is a little warm up for him. To see how he does in that, and that's going to give me a bigger opinion on Gambit and what he's going to do there, what he's going to bring to it.
Cool. All right, let me make sure. I think that's all of our comic book related news. So we're going to switch over and do just some straight up geek stuff. So. You want to do Star Wars, or you want to save that for later?
Star Wars time is always at the end.
Okay,
man.
well, I'll just say there's only one small story, kind of, and we'll save it for later. So, moving on. Well, this story is related to Star Wars.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
You're the boss.
So let me do Star Wars first, and then I can move on from there. Okay? So, the Han Solo spin-off film has been said to be casting for a while now, and according to Variety, they've narrowed down the list of potential guys to play Han Solo. Among that list, you have Miles Teller, Dave Franco, Logan Lerman, Ansel Elgort, Jack Rayner, Scott Eastwood, and Blake Jenner. Now, it's said that non-disclosure agreements are being put together by Lucasfilm and President Kathleen Kennedy. The Han Solo spin-off film is being directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who did 21 Jump Street and the Lego Movie. Also, it's said that this actor or the young Han Solo, whoever plays him, might make a cameo in upcoming Rogue One, which is set to come out at the end of this year. Also, want to know that targeting, of course, the actor. They want someone in their mid to early 20s for the film, because this film is going to take place 10 years before the events of Episode 4, A New Hope. Now, as far as the age of the actors, Eastwood and Franco are both 30, and they're the oldest of the potential actors. Elgort is the youngest at 21. The film is being written by Lawrence Kasdan, actually, who helped write Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Force Awakens, so we're good there. And this Han Solo movie is set to open May 25th, 2018. Any of those actors sound good for you, Josh?
I think Scott Eastwood is probably one of my favorite candidates out of that, because, of course, related to Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood is a badass. And
Okay, time out. Let's go through your logic before we go any further. Because he's related to Clint Eastwood, okay? That's like saying I'm going to pick Jalen Smith because he's related to Will Smith.
I mean, but you see characteristics of his father in him is what my point is.
All right.
And Han Solo is a character that is a man's man.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you saw Scott Eastwood's recent film, but
he does. What recent film?
He does it's 12 seconds, I believe. It's a cowboy movie.
Okay.
It's a cowboy movie, which it's a love story.
I did not see it actually, so you got me there.
But he does capture the tough guy look, the tough guy persona, and that's Han Solo right there, man. I mean, that's the cocky swagger that you go after.
I can do that. See, as I said, like those last couple guys, was it Scott Eastwood, Jake Renner, Blake Jenner? I don't know those guys actually really. I know Miles Teller, Dave Franco, Logan Lerman. My number one pick is still Ansel Elgort from The Fault in Our Stars. I've only seen him in that one film, but to me, he brought that swagger that I think Han Solo needs to encompass.
Agreed.
Teller and Franco, I would put them at the bottom of the list, especially because they're so well known.
Franco's a comedy actor to me.
You want someone, again, with a big role like this, you want someone who's not that well known, so when people look at him, they say, oh, that's Han Solo, not, oh, that's Dave Franco from Neighbors.
Yeah.
You know?
I see your point there.
And Logan Lerman is a great actor. I love Logan Lerman ever since back when he was on the WB show, Scott and Bobby. If anyone knows what that show is, I give you props. But and he was in the recent movie Fury, which was great with Brad Pitt. Great actor. I don't think he's right for Han Solo though. But
my vote's on Scott Eastwood, man.
All right. Well, we should make a little bet on this.
We
honestly.
should. That'd be kind of fun.
We'll get Lisa in on this, and we'll make a little wager.
Who is going to be cast?
Who is going to be cast as Han Solo? I'm sure there's already other internet bets going around, but we should make our own, which I think would be cool. So, all right. So moving on. The reason I wanted to do that story first before this one is because in regards to someone who's not on that short list, Taron Egerton, who is the star of Kingsman: The Secret Service. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of people, after seeing Secret Service and the Whispers of Han Solo film, thought Egerton would be a great choice for a young Han Solo. A lot of people have him in the front, but he's not on the list as the one I just read off. So either they're keeping him hush hush because they're really considering him, or they're not considering him at all. But another thing might be because he's currently in production of another film, Robin Hood Origins. So maybe because he's doing this film, he can't do Han Solo as well. So
you're gonna ditch Han Solo for Robin Hood?
Well, still, he probably already agreed.
Fire your agent.
He agreed to Robin Hood already. Probably is what it was.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, Egerton is actually starring in the new Robin Hood movie coming out, and the news that came out last week was that Academy Award winner Jamie Foxx is going to be playing Little John in the newest rendition of the character. Now, the character description of Little John is a battle-hardened but war-weary veteran of the Crusades who starts out distrusting of the young Robin as they fought on opposite sides, but eventually warms up to the hero. So this new rendition of Robin Hood is set to be a little more gritty. Director Otto Bathurst is going to be running this project. Not familiar with him. It says he did a film called Peaky Blinders. No idea. Anyway, the film is being done by Lionsgate. New Robin Hood coming out, of course. Just a little bit grittier take. Cameron Egerton. I'm horrible with names.
You're getting
and then Jamie Foxx. What do you think about this film coming out?
I really don't think very much about it. I don't know. I know the characters. I know the Robin Hood story.
Of course.
I'm trying to put Jamie Foxx in there. He's Neil Noggin, but
he's a great actor.
Django is what I'm thinking now.
Well, I think that's what I'm saying. He says as battle-hardened but war-weary veteran. I mean, that to me sounds like a Django type character anyway. Mm-hmm. And Jamie Foxx is a great actor. So Jamie Foxx being added to any film, I'm all about because he's a great actor.
I want to hear your opinion on this. Do you think, because Jamie Foxx is a funny guy, he's great, he's got charisma. Do you think he's going to be using some of that in this film and give it maybe a lighter heart?
I don't, because he didn't use it in Django. He didn't use it in Ray. I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see that more serious side of Jamie Foxx, which I like.
You say that about Django, but Django was kind of funny at some points. I mean, I
like the way it wasn't like he wasn't cracking jokes deliberately.
No, you're right. But it
was more ironic, funny than anything.
Okay, yeah.
So but the film. So with the recent passing of Alan Rickman, I went back and I watched my favorite Robin Hood film, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, starring Kevin Costner and Alan Rickman. Still a great film. Then, of course, you have other renditions of Robin Hood, like the old Errol Flynn films. You have Robin Hood Men in Tights, which is a parody.
Danielle?
So hilarious.
It's my favorite version.
But the most recent one is the one with Russell Crowe, just titled Robin Hood, that was done by Ridley Scott. I saw that in theaters, did not like it, really. So I'm hoping this one's going to be a better one. Again, Taron Egerton, I liked him in Secret Service. I think he's a rising young star. I'm still questionable about how far he can go, because I've just seen him in that one film. After this, I think we had a better idea of his range. And then, maybe if the Han Solo role comes around for him, I could see it if I think he pulls off the Robin Hood very well, too. So,
understood.
But we'll see. All right, guys. So, moving on to our next story. Walden Media is actually, looks like they are going to do... No, they sold the rights for Chronicles of Narnia films. Did you ever see the Chronicles of Narnia films?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, cool. All right. So anyway, Walden Media actually made $1.6 billion off the 3 Narnia films. And now Mark Gordon Company, the new owners of the franchise rights for the book series, is going to reboot the Chronicles of Narnia. They're starting with the book The Silver Chair, which is actually the 4th book in the novel's sequence. Gordon says it's going to be a brand new franchise. The previous films, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Prince Caspian, and The Voyage of Dawn Treader, were done under Walden Media, but lost the film rights back in 2011. 2 years later, the C.S. Lewis Company announced a new deal with Mark Gordon Company. The Chronicles of Narnia, when I was a kid, I loved those books. I still have, I think, all the big old book series, actually, too. I loved The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Prince Caspian is my favorite book. It was probably, I was so disappointed in that film. And then from there, it went downhill. Voyage of Dawn Treader, I felt was a better film, but by then it was too tainted by Prince Caspian.
I've seen all 3 films. I only know the films. I never read the books. You know, it'd be fun is to have a full conversation with a hardcore Chronicles of Narnia fan and see what they think of this.
I know. I'm not a hardcore fan, but like I said, I read the books as a kid. I read them all. Silver Chair was actually one of my least favorite books, but it's one that they haven't done yet. You know, they've done Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Prince Caspian, Voyage of Dawn Treader, and those are actually the 3 famous ones, actually. So I can see why they did them. To reboot, they're trying to do something different, which I get. But eventually, of course, you got to go back through and you got to do the other 3 again, I believe. For me, they need to do, because The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe is the main book, and it was really the first book written. But then C.S. Lewis went back and he did a book that takes place before Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe chronologically, called The Magician's Nephew. And in that book, you actually get to see the creation of Narnia, the creation of Aslan, how the White Queen got to Narnia, and actually how the wardrobe, how the kids are able to use the wardrobe to go to Narnia as well. It's a whole origin story, which is actually one of my favorite books in the series too.
Very cool if you go that route.
Exactly. I would love, if they're going to reboot it, let's start off there, not with the Silver Chair. That would be totally awesome. And then go back, and the second film you could do is The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, which I think would be awesome as well.
And starting off with your first film, telling the origin of Narnia, I think is a great idea, man. I mean, you tell the side of a story that a lot of people haven't heard of and not used to, unknown to people. So do it, man.
I know they're trying to start off and make something new, but I think they should start off with a different book. But that's just my opinion as a guy who enjoyed the series and wants to see the film series come back and be better than what it turned out. So, but that's just me. So. Alright guys, so next up, we're going to keep it classic. I have a question for Josh though. Have you ever seen the 1980 Flash Gordon film?
No.
With Queen, the awesome soundtrack with Queen.
I've heard the soundtrack. I've seen maybe 15 minutes of the film.
He fights for every one of us.
This would be something my dad, if I saying no to this answer is
okay, so I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix, or you can find it on one. Okay, you got to go back and watch it. So they're starting a new Flash Gordon movie by 20th Century Fox, and they hired the guy who wrote Thor, actually, to do it, Mark Perdovic. He announced on his Facebook page that he is going to be working on the new Flash Gordon film, and it's going to be directed by Matthew Vaughn, who did Kick-Ass, X-Men First Class, and Kingsman: The Secret Service.
Cool vibes.
So Podovic's credits also include I Am Legend and the Old Boy remake with, Josh, what's his name? I can never forget his name. The guy from the Goonies. Yeah. Anyway. So we got a new writer on here. They're doing a new Flash Gordon movie. And of course, George Lucas has always credited Flash Gordon as one of his inspirations for Star Wars as well. I like the material of Flash Gordon. The fact that Matthew Vaughn is directing it gets me very interested, because he could totally do a really wild outside take of what we've seen. I grew up on the old Flash Gordon 1980 film. It's one of those things that's awesomely bad. You look at it now and it is such a bad film, but it's one of those spectacularly cheesy bad films that you just gotta watch.
And I'm sure, it did well in its time, right? Obviously it's popular.
So I know, I'm not sure about the core Flash Gordon mythology, but in the film, you had the quarterback of the New York Jets, Flash Gordon, got abducted by aliens, and then ends up becoming like this space hero or whatever, saving the galaxy and everything. And I'm like, it's like, no, remember the movie Ted? Okay, you see the movie Ted where they had the actor, they watched Flash Gordon, they had the movie in there, and one of my favorite lines from that film was like, Tom Brady could totally explain the universe. It was hilarious, definitely hilarious. But I'm excited to see this new Flash Gordon with Matthew Vaughn, especially if this Pravich guy is the guy who wrote Thor. Great film, of course, so I'm excited for this.
I'm excited for who they pilot on and the themes. I hope that they stick along with a Thor type, I Am Legend vibe to it. I think I'm more excited about that. I really don't know the material very well. But.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, Flash Gordon, I think it'll be really cool. It's been a long time since we had a good Flash Gordon. They tried to do a TV series, a sci-fi channel TV series. That didn't go very well. I watched like the first episode. It was sci-fi, so it wasn't exactly stellar quality. But it'll be cool. So well, that's all I got, man. We're running a little short today. Make it quick and simple. Get you back to class, huh?
Oh yeah, I mean it's a little too short, man. I feel like
we were cheated a little.
A little bit.
I don't think we missed anything. Let me run through it.
I think we got.
Let's see here. We got that. Yeah, we talked about that. I'm gonna throw my show notes all over the place here. We're good. That's it, man. Yeah, we talked about it. We're good. All right, guys. So that's it. So want to remind you, of course, anybody who's listening. We got a new social media sites going on. I've created a Facebook group as well, and that's not just for us to share something or to post our podcast. I want you guys to share too. Share your geekdom, your love for things that are sci-fi and comic book and fantasy or whatever. You know, we want to get a community going with all this here.
I love that you simplified it too, man. We made it simple for you to reach out to us.
Exactly.
Do it.
And I made a Twitter account too.
We're official.
We're on Facebook now. We're on Twitter.
Facebook official.
Facebook official. Nothing's official in this world now until it's Facebook official, right?
Don't say that.
It is really. Okay?
Yes.
Exactly. And if you don't like someone, you can block them. Okay, and you never have to talk to them ever again. I mean, Facebook is it. That's where it's at. So.
But please like us.
Please like us. Yes. Please join our group. Of course, so hit us Facebook, Twitter. Share with us, man. We want to hear what you guys are saying. Hit us up, daysspringdiscussions@gmail.com. Of course, I'm on Twitter and Instagram, SLYM Dayspring12. Josh, where can they find you and talk to you and bug you?
Instagram, I am Batman 24/7 is the handle. Hit me up, man. Do whatever you gotta do. And if I have one thing to say, it's gonna be watch Daredevil. Season 2's coming out.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen Daredevil, watch season 1.
I started skimming through season 1, and it's better than what I remember, actually. So I'm excited for that. I'm skimming through it. I'm going through the parts that I like, and I like that definitely. But, man, that's one thing, too, is you go back, like, you have Flash and Arrow coming back, and you have, I was watching Daredevil, and you have Jessica Jones, and comic books are such a good media via television. Because with movies, like, take Daredevil, for instance, okay? The entire season 1... they're basically telling his origin story and doing flashbacks, and that's all origin story. All that is origin story there, pretty much. With a Daredevil film, you got 10 minutes of origin story there. So it's fleshed out a lot better. Take your time, the characters. It makes it a lot better. And same thing with Flash. Flash, you got the TV series. You take your time, develop the characters, get attached to the characters. I mean, television is, I think, a better media for comic books as opposed to film. Not that I don't enjoy comic book films, but I think it's a much better way to enjoy the genre.
Especially with an origin story, man.
Exactly.
You can take your time with it.
Exactly.
And that's one of my favorite parts is the origins, how these heroes came to be, what obstacles they had to overcome in order to become the person they are.
Exactly. Cool. All right, guys. So that's it. Hit us up. If you have any questions, comments, or you want to tell us to drop dead, that's fine too. Until then, same bat time, same bat channel.